Hi everyone. I wanted to make a video this evening talking a bit about how your speaking and writing skills have to get stronger and more developed as you progress up through the ranks. One of the best suggestions that I have to you is obviously take as many writing courses as will allow while you are at WCCC or when you go to another college or university, if you do. And many other schools also do something that's called writing across the curriculum, which means that for classes you take, so for example, I know Robert Morris does that. So if you take a financial management class, they'll have you write something, have you write a paper, or they'll have you write something and they'll do a presentation. And so it's good not only to be able to understand why you should do something, but also to write it out and explain it so others understand it. And that is a very, very useful skill. I also would strongly encourage you to take other speech or communication courses because those are invaluable to you. I can't stress enough. Obviously, everyone has to take effective speech, but there's interpersonal communication, there's small group communication, there's a course called propaganda and persuasion. That's a very good course. And if you can, obviously, you have to take the CPT 150, the microcomputer concepts. However, if you can take CPT 151, which is part 2 of microcomputer concepts, or if you could take an individual course in Word or PowerPoint or Excel and so on, that is all invaluable because the better computer skills you have, the more the more technologically savvy you are, the better off you will be. I really can't stress that to you enough. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you is when you leave WCCC, if you get a degree from us or if you don't, you can always come back and take non-credit classes. For example, I've taken quite a few non-credit classes. I've taken 8 or 9 different computer classes as non-credit. As a matter of fact, I took a non-credit Microsoft Visio, which is a visual organizer type of software. I took one in Word. I took one in PowerPoint. I know, like I said, I've taken quite a variety. And here, this coming month and into next month, I'm taking a teaching online, just a course that gets more into technology. And then I'm also going to take advanced online teaching. And so those are both non-credit classes. In some fields, you are going to have to get what's called continuing education credits. And some require a certain number every 5 years. And you can get those through WCCC or, of course, any college or university or professional organizations to which you belong. They offer those all the time, and I can't tell you how important those are. But whatever you do, keep up with technology and continue to enhance your technological skills. I also wanted to tell you, too, as a person that teaches for a living, I get to teach a wide variety of different courses. I teach intermediate writing, which is a course below college writing. I teach college writing. I teach technical communication, advanced composition. I've taught business communication. I get to teach fiction writing. I teach criminal justice writing, human services writing. And those courses are really interesting. You learn about different facets of writing, such as a social history. In criminal justice writing, you have to write search warrants or narrative reports and so on, interviews. So there's different types of writing that you will do, and I think it's good to be exposed to that. And the thing that I will tell you is, as a person who teaches, like I said, I have to be conversant in different courses, but I'm also involved in the college at different levels. I'm involved with the cultural committee. I'm the chairperson of that. And so we have to contact groups, organizations that are coming into the college. We try to get good prices on events and so on. I'm the president of the faculty union at the college, and so obviously I'm involved with that, but I have to communicate consistently with the administration, with other faculty. We have professionals, so we deal with a wide variety of people, and so I get to use my communication skills in that capacity. Obviously, I communicate and interact with textbook reps, or I find out what new technology is coming on. I'm involved in search committees at the college. We're doing a program now called Achieving the Dream. I'm a team member of that. It's to increase student retention and student progress. We received a grant a few years back for Title III. We received $2 million, so several $100,000 a year for 5 years. I'm involved with that. We're going through middle states accreditation in 2013. I'm involved with that particular situation, because we get involved with that every 10 years. So I like that. I like to be involved with these different activities because I think it helps me to be a more effective employee. It also helps me in the classroom, but it gets me to write and speak in a number of different ways. Recently, we had a English department faculty event, and so we had the full and part-time faculty that teach, the college writing and advanced composition. And so several of us did brief presentations. I talked a little bit about the My Writing Lab and My Comp Lab. There's also a tutoring feature there that students can submit up to 6 papers a year for free tutoring advice from people who Pearson Longman hire. So that's good. And so we talked about this product called Source Check that can search students' papers to see if, that they found too much information from one source, and if there is plagiarism or whatnot. But anyhow, I had to do, speaking of that nature, and so I like that. I find it enjoyable to shift gears and talk to a number of different audiences throughout the course of the week. And that's why I enjoy teaching so much. But the one thing that I want to share with you, which is a very, very critical point, is, whatever your first job is when you graduate college. So, for example, if you're a rad tech and you like that and you're good at it, stay in that position because you'll enjoy the work. You'll find it worthwhile. You'll find it stimulating. If you're a network database manager, or, if you manage a database for a company, or if you manage the website or whatever, and if you enjoy that, stay in that. Because it'll be worthwhile and you'll be of great service to your company. However, if you find, I really would like to earn some more income, I'd like to expand the scope of my responsibilities. Well, if that's the case, then please keep in mind that your speaking and writing skills are going to have to be better, because more of your day is going to be spent speaking and writing, presenting, and all those types of things. That is a big part of it, and that's what you have to do. In the early 2000s, I had an individual in class named Brian Burton, who was a trooper for the Pennsylvania State Police until he retired recently. But he always used to say, when you speak for the state police, you're not speaking as an individual, you are the voice of the state police. So, for example, if there's an incident that takes place and you have to make a statement, if there's a bank robbery, if there's a shooting, whatever the situation is, he said that the best thing that you can always do is you comment on the facts that you know, and you cannot express your opinion. So that's very, very important. And he also said, too, as a state trooper, he was involved in homicide investigations, in accidents, and a whole variety of different things. He was involved in hostage situations. And so if he ever had to go into court, he never really expressed opinions. He expressed the facts as he knew them. And also, too, obviously, he had to write a whole series of different types of reports. He talked about, told us in class, he was involved in an investigation where a husband and wife took 2 children to a cake party at Ohio State Powell Park in, I guess it's in Fayette County. And he said that the parents left a toddler, I guess, 1 year old, and another child in the van, and they kept the windows up, and it wasn't really cold. It might have been 45 or 50 degrees. So, the van was running, and there was no carbon monoxide problem or anything like that. And I believe they might have gone back one time to check on the children, and they were fine. However, they returned after about 2.5 hours, and the youngest child was comatose, and the child ended up dying. And so he had to do a very thorough investigation, and he had to find out what the autopsy findings were. Had these parents been investigated by Child and Youth Protective Services at any point? He had to go through all of this, and he had to write very extensive, detailed reports, and then he had to go to court at different levels. He had to go to the district magistrate level, he had to go to the court of common pleas. And so he said it was very, very involved, but people really scrutinized his writing very, very closely, because obviously the defense attorney got all of the documents, that's called discovery, so they were able to look at what he had written. And so that's a really, really important point. The director of IT at WCCC is named Pat McCullough, and he came to the technical communication class recently, and he gave a really good presentation. He owns a small business, and it's a business-to-business type of application business. Before he came to WCCC, though, he was the coordinator of desktop services at Pitt of Greensburg. However, he started this little business with 5 other people, and they wrote software applications. But he gave a great example. He had to go to Allegheny County and do a presentation in front of 200 people in a ballroom at a hotel, and they wanted to coordinate the river services in Allegheny County, with the Allegheny County River Rescue. There's a fire department rescue in Pittsburgh, and there's one in Allegheny County. The city of Pittsburgh has a river rescue. There's these barge services, for rescue. If there is a chemical spill, there's another group. If there are other types of accidents, if there's an accidental drowning or so on, they have all these different organizations, but they weren't coordinated or organized. And so Pat had to go in and explain, this is what we propose, this is what we're going to be doing, and this is why it would work for you. So he had to speak, and he had to be able to ask questions. Then he stayed for lunch. And so they were able to secure that particular bid, and they won that project. But he also said, as the IT director of WCCC, a couple of years ago, we went to a wireless network, and how it had to be available, how much it was going to cost, what benefits there were of it. We went to an IT help desk here 2 or 3 years ago, to centralize help questions. And so that has really been such a beneficial type of situation. We went from Campus Connections to the WCCC portal. That was a big change, and so he had to write all these different documents, do proposals, requests for bids, and all of that. So he just said it was really, really involved and difficult. But he said things have changed. When he was the coordinator of desktop services at Pitt of Greensburg, he said 70 or 80% of his day was spent troubleshooting and configuring computers and so on, and maybe 20% was spent with writing. He said now, as the IT director, he said it's the other way around. Maybe 20% is spent with computer applications, but 80% is spent with writing and speaking and so on. And that's what you're going to have to be aware of as you progress. Your skills have to get better, and you do have to keep strengthening them, because that is your bread and butter, and that's what you're going to have to do. So hopefully from taking the writing course that you have this semester, that'll help you down the road. But as I said, you're going to have to continue to hone your skills in writing and speaking, but also your technological skills, your software knowledge, and so on. And if your company or organization provides for additional training, take advantage of it. If they pay you to go back to school, take advantage of that. It's going to be to your advantage over the long term. You want to continue to enhance your skills. I went back to school here recently and got another degree in professional writing. It helped me immensely. I can make these YouTube videos now. I learned how to do this. I learned how to make MP3 files. I've done blogs. I've done wikis. I worked on collaborative project with other people, and a lot of other skills that I've gained. So I can't stress to you enough to continue to enhance and hone your skills throughout your career, and believe me, it will pay off to you. Thanks.